What's going on, everybody? My name's Aaron, and today we are going over the all-state technical for middle school for the year of 2020. Now, one of the first things that jumps out about this particular technical is you play essentially half of this entire piece mezzo forte. So to me, mezzo forte is a comfortable pick up the instrument, just start playing kind of a volume. So that's where I'm going with my mezzo forte. However, once you get past that double bar fermata thing that we'll talk about in a second, once you get past that, you have like a bar of forte and then you have fortissimo. And you don't crescendo to the fortissimo. So you want to try your best to start that big and broad and then just bump it up in the next measure. And then another thing that you're going to really want to look out for is there's a bunch of sforzandos typically whenever there's two notes tied together. And don't just play the sforzando louder, go ahead and give it a little bit more character, give it a little bit more style. Just make sure it pops out. Don't try to your best to like overdo it or like frack it or anything. Just like make sure that it's just really popping out of the texture from what you're playing. Something that's gonna really help you know if you're accenting enough or if it's too much or whatever is if you record yourself in your practice and when you listen back to it, if it doesn't sound good to you, you're doing something wrong one way or the other. So if it doesn't sound good, don't do it, and then figure out what you need to do through that recording to kind of adjust that. I was really confused about the whole double bar with the fermata, fine, that whole section. Now, we're not doing the fines or any of that kind of stuff for the audition. So what I've kind of interpreted it as and what I've talked to some band directors and what they think it means too, is you're actually just going to play the etude like normal all the way up into that like double bar fermata spot. And that's a second to just take a moment. And then you jump into that forte section and just play the rest out. So it's just a little bit of a pause, not a ton, you know, and you just kind of keep going through that. So it's not a ton of time or anything like that. You just a nice little pause, take a nice big breath, and then continue out through the rest of the etude. And the last really big thing is just making sure you're sticking to time and doing the tempo that they ask. They ask for 100 for your dotted quarter note. And even though you can go faster and you can try to show off and be able to play the notes faster, I almost always will have my students just play the tempo that they ask for, the requirement tempo, and it's been really successful for them. The big thing you just don't want to speed up or slow down. You want to make sure that whatever you pick, you are consistent. What helps me with that, outside of just recording myself and making sure I'm still doing that, what really helps me with that is if before I play any piece by myself, that I count myself off. So something I will do, like I would do before I played this, let's say, is I would look at the music for a second. Okay. Now, I'm not singing out loud. This is all going on in my brain, but I'm looking at it and going, and then I have my tempo, and then right before I play, and 1, 2, so on and so forth. So just counting yourself off and giving yourself your actual tempo before you get going will be really helpful with establishing your tempo. A lot of times I'll hear people kind of get into the tempo they want. So so it takes a second. It sounds like it's kind of winding up, and you just want to right away. You just want to hit your tempo right off the bat. It's something you might want to practice before you really dig into this, or as you're practicing this thing, is look at some like single tongue exercises and just make sure that your single tongue doesn't get really fatigued as you play this thing. There's just a lot of that. So if you have a slower tongue or you just haven't worked on a lot of single tonguing, I would put this in here. It's not nearly fast enough to try to triple tongue it. So don't even worry about that. Just go ahead and just work on the speed and the consistency of your single tongue. Almost every single one of these notes is staccato, so you don't really have to worry about that style. You can just be lifted throughout the entire thing. And just make sure that the muscle can keep up with what your brain wants you to play. But yeah, that's essentially it for the technical. It's not crazy. It seems to me like a little bit of a woodshedder, and there's some pitfalls in it, but you should be able to work it up very successfully. And if you need any help with it, please do not hesitate to contact me or leave a comment down below with what you might need. If you like this video or if it was helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already for more videos similar to this, as well as product reviews and more performances from me. But anyway, that's all I've got for you today. Again, my name's Aaron, reminding you to be happy but never satisfied. I'll see you next time.